That's my favorite part of the job is going out and talking to people.
You remember this guy, don't you?
And especially taking a horse out to talk to people.
This is Uno. Ocean Pearl is the black one here. She was part of a group of horses that started going around the fence at Falls Chase.
And we want people to learn about these horses, learn about why they're special, why it's very important to protect them and save them.
I like that furriness, yeah. How much more will she get?
This is it. This is as big as she gets.
For people to understand the whole culture of these wild horses and what happens when they can't live in the wild anymore. They live comfortably.
He has been a show horse, he does outreach, he's kind of been there, done that. So.
Animals living in the wild are some special. You know, there's homes up there where they live. So it's sort of a competition, I guess, for lack of a better word, or a balance between, you know, humans living up there and animals living in the wild.
Good job, Pearly.
They totally have adapted to their environment. Their diet is specific to out there. We have a house up there and it's awesome. We're fortunate we get closer because we can stand on our deck, and they're, you know, a lot of times they're in the front yard. We have a persimmons tree, and they love to eat those little fruits. So they'll come. A couple weeks ago we had 6 of them in the yard. We kind of owe it to, as more people move there and the environment changes, we owe it to make sure that they get to thrive like everybody else is.
At the end of the day, right, what makes these horses special is what they are now. As they exist right now, that's what makes them banker horses, that's what makes them special. And so you can't separate them from the Outer Banks. You know, if you remove these horses from the Outer Banks, eventually they will not be what they are anymore.
He's got a spot on his nose, and he's got a little...
Here, this is gorgeous. The breeze is nice, the sun's shining, and I think the horses seem happy to see everybody. This area is wonderful for the horses that can't go back into the wild, but they have a good home and they're well taken care of. It is a legacy. I remember, I'm actually from Virginia, but I've been here for 10 years. And then when my husband took me to see the horses, it was the best feeling. I was like, there's no way I actually just saw wild horses running down the beach. It's beautiful. They are very special. And I hope that they're around for my grandchildren and further on to see, because it is something to see, and it's just something you'll never forget.
That was me, you know, that was me when I was a little kid. And to think that you can give that experience to other kids and maybe sort of shape their futures a little bit. I mean, you know, I'm sure there were people that had horses when I was a kid that, you know, made an impact on me enough to here I am. And so if I can do that for other people, that's really special.
When we look at life along the Outer Banks, the horses have been a part of that life for a long, long time, for hundreds of years. And in certain ways, they connect us to a way of life that we don't see quite as much today. And I see them as a connection to that history. And they teach us about history. They teach us about how people survived, how people made it through very difficult times up on the beach. And they're still there, and they still tell us that story every day. And then on top of that, we live in a generational tourist site. People come, they've come, their great-grandparents brought them, their grandparents brought them, they want to bring their grandkids. They want to be able to share that experience. They want to have that same experience that perhaps their great-grandparents had. They hope their great-grandkids can have that experience, and we see that and we hear that all the time. And that's such a big part of the legacy of these horses, is they've been part of the fabric of the culture of the Outer Banks for hundreds of years, both for residents and visitors alike.